Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to the elect. And in this video, this is basically going to be a response to the wildfires that are currently going on in the western part of the United States, which in the Holy Scriptures is known as Babylon the Great. So, without any further ado, I'm going to get started. This is an article from ABC7. President Biden is raising federal firefighter pay amid threat of catastrophic wildfire season.
And Governor Newsom is going to be in Siskiyou County where the lava fire is burning this morning. He's meeting virtually with President Biden, Vice President Harris, and other governors to talk about the wildfire season, drought, and unprecedented heat in the West. They're expected to discuss prevention efforts and preparedness, and that meeting is going to happen at 8 this morning.
Okay, so I'm going to read. President Joe Biden is temporarily raising pay for federal firefighters to ensure that no one fighting wildland fires is making less than $15 per hour. Biden's plan for the higher pay and other moves to boost U.S. wildfire fighting capacity and prevention efforts comes as a virtual meeting was held Wednesday with governors from western states to discuss what is shaping up to be a torrid wildfire season. In addition, a huge swath of the Pacific Northwest is in the midst of one of the worst heat waves in recent memory. Biden has expressed dismay at the starting pay for federal firefighters, which is significantly lower than many local and state fire agencies. Pay for new federal firefighters typically starts at $11 per hour to $14 per hour, and they are overtime eligible, according to the Interior Department. That's going to end in my administration, Biden said during a visit last week to the Federal Emergency Management Agency for a briefing on natural disaster prevention efforts. That's a ridiculously low salary to pay federal firefighters. Western states have been parched by severe drought and record heat that has burned more than 2,000 square miles this year. That's ahead of the pace in 2020, which saw a near record 15,000 square miles burned, as well as 17,000 homes and other structures destroyed. The pay raise will come in the form of retention incentives and by providing additional bonuses to those working on the front lines. More experienced permanent firefighters could also be eligible for a 10% retention incentive. Temporary firefighters will be eligible to receive some incentive pay under the plan. The meeting comes as the White House released a memo confirming its commitment to a clean energy standard, tax credits, and 500,000 charging stations for electric vehicles, among other climate goals, as officials pursue a two-track approach on infrastructure. And this stuff about climate and the electric vehicles, that's just part of the NWO. A memo by climate advisor Gina McCarthy and White House senior advisor Anita Dunn also pledges at least $10 billion to conserve and restore public lands and waters, address environmental injustice, and create a civilian climate corps to complete federally funded projects to respond to climate change and transition to a clean energy jobs. The memo responds to criticism from environmental groups and other progressives who are frustrated that many climate-related initiatives were cut out of a bipartisan infrastructure plan announced last week. We know more work needs to be done, which is why President Biden will continue championing, the memo says. Both the nearly $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill and a separate, larger plan Biden and fellow Democrats aim to approve along party lines. On wildfires, administration officials have pledged to work with Congress to increase firefighter pay and convert at least 1,000 seasonal wildland firefighters to year-round workers as fires have grown more severe. So this is just them talking about how they're gonna support the firefighters more. And it's kind of hard to argue against that. So I'm gonna play this clip as well.
Alright guys, listen up.
My mama.
Our grandpa.
My daddy.
Our dad works on the highway.
It's so scary. Please be careful. Slow down.
And pay attention.
Be alert. Be work zone alert.
I'm ABC 7 News meteorologist Drew Tuma. We're talking about what we might expect in the fire season for the months ahead. The things we can look at right now and predict, like soil moisture and the drought. It's not looking great. You can see our drought monitor. Our extreme and exceptional drought covers 85% of the state. Exceptional drought covers a third of the state, which is the worst drought category. You look at the Bay Area, all of the North Bay, much of the East Bay, and now parts of San Francisco are in that exceptional drought category. So everything is very dry. Our vegetation is at extremely dry levels, and we're already seeing our fire season have a significant increase from last year. This is from CAL FIRE. Already this year, we've seen 16,800 acres burned. Compare that to this time last year, only 3,600 acres in 2020 up to this date. So this is a huge increase from last year. When we look at our threat for wildfires in the months ahead, our highest threat comes at September and October. Those unpredictable events we can only see about a week or two out, like heat waves and wind events and possible lightning storms. The chance for those are the highest as we enter the late summer and early fall.
So, as you can see, the Lord is waging war on this place. So that takes me to this Luke 12:49. I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled? So this, if you look at this spiritually, this can be seen as an omen to the day of the Lord, when the whole continent of America is going to be utterly burned with fire. Now there might be some places in the world that don't get hit, but mostly anywhere where Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is dwelling, and also where you have a lot of wicked Jakes, those places are going to be utterly destroyed. So I also want to get this. 2 Peter 3:10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Verse 11. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of Yahweh, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. So this basically is speaking to the believers and the elect, that we should be pushing as hard as possible to stay in the spirit and to continue to follow the commandments and to do the work to the best of our ability, because everything that we're looking at now, all of this stuff, it's just really a tiny speck compared to the grand scheme of things. This is all going to be done away with soon. So yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say. Once again, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glorifications to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to the elect. Shalom.